from the Ticats Audio Network. This is Ticats Today with Louie B.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Wednesday, June the 8th, 2022 on the Ticats Audio Network. Just 3 short days away from the Ticats opening their 2022 season in Saskatchewan against the Riders. Louie B setting it up for you. As we got a brand new episode of Ticats Today, we're going to hear from the head coach and president of football operations, Orlondo Steinauer. We'll hear from Simoni Lawrence as well. And later on, Bubba O'Neil from the Ticats Audio Network and CHCH is going to be by because he's got a brand new role here on the Ticats Audio Network, and we'll get to that in just a second. First of all, we will check the news and notes as we normally do here on the show. And we'll start with the injury report as the Ticats released their injury report from Tuesday's practice. And if you watch the scrums at ticats.ca, you would have heard Coach provide an update on Cariel Brooks. He did not practice yesterday. He's dealing with a back injury. Coach says it's unlikely he will go this week in Saskatchewan. Also, linebacker Patrick Nelson is dealing with a shoulder injury. He was limited in practice yesterday. And, of course, they are still awaiting the return of Tyler Ternowski and Lamar Durant, both on the 6-game injured list. All right, Coulter Woodmansey on the 6-game injured list as well, but we'll know how the Ticats plan to line up on Saturday when they release their depth chart on Friday. The other exciting news and notes I wanted to get to was some changes and some expansions at the Ticats Audio Network, as it was announced today that Bubba O'Neil, Bubba O'Neil, is joining the Ticats Audio Network as the new host of pre, half, and post-game shows. Mike Daly joining the amazing list of talent that we have for you here at the Ticats Audio Network. And we're expanding our reach, as it was announced that 1460 C-Joy in Guelph and City News 570 in Kitchener will now be carrying the Ticats Audio Network. Yes, so from Guelph to Kitchener to Mississauga to Hamilton, you can get the Hamilton Ticats Audio Network just basically everywhere you go in the area, which is great as they join 900 CHML and News Talk Saga at 960 AM in Mississauga. And, of course, always available at listen.ticats.ca or the Ticats All Access app. And as mentioned, Bubba O'Neil will be joining me in just a little bit here on the show to talk about joining the pregame show and, me officially passing the torch. And I was so honored to get to do 2 games with the fantastic crew of RJ and Luke and, of course, Andy. And everybody works behind the scenes on Friday night's game in Guelph, which was awesome because we got to have that little piece of history and take it on the road. I'm not going anywhere. I am going somewhere on the pregame show. I won't be available on the pregame show, but Ticats Today is still going to be right here where you found it, where you love to listen, wherever you get your favorite podcast. So thank you for your support on Ticats Today, and I am so happy for my friend Bubba, and there's very few people more qualified than him to take the reins of Tiger-Cats Pregame, Tiger-Cats at the half, and Tiger-Cats Postgame on the Ticats Audio Network. And Bubba getting set with that, 6 o'clock on Saturday on the Ticats Audio Network with Andy Fantus. All right, let's hear from the head coach of the Ticats. He's also the president of football operations. Here's what Orlondo Steinauer had to say after practice today.
You can see that they're starting to get they're excited. You can feel it in the meeting rooms and whatnot. But their focus has been spot on, really, to be honest with you. But like I always say, there's a test at the end of every week, right? You practice to perform in the game. So looking forward to the first real test. We feel like we're getting prepared, right? That's all you can do. You prepare to play, and then you just got to let the players go out and play the game, right? No coach is going to play the game, no therapist, no equipment person. Our job is to get everything prepared. Their job is to play, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we're at. Oh yeah, they're well coached. I can tell you that, and I know that they've got playmakers over there, and they're stout up front on defense, and they're they're a solid football team. They've won consistently since Craig's been at the helm there. So we understand what we're up against, and it's definitely an advantage for them playing at that home field. It's a loud stadium, and that's what makes it even more exciting, though, right? I'm just looking forward to that challenge. Just we expect to win every week, Louie. I mean, you've been around here to know that we don't ever take the field and think it's okay to lose or it's all right to compete. We always take the field to win. Nobody's going to make the playoffs or miss the playoffs, but it's very important that we go out and play well. And again, like I said, the goal is always going to be to win.
That is Orlondo Steinauer, president of football operations and head coach of the Hamilton Tiger-Cats, as we caught up with him after practice today. And a reminder, full scrums available at ticats.ca. Simoni Lawrence set to enter his 9th season with the Hamilton Tiger-Cats, his 10th season. He is the Ticats' all-time leading tackler, and he's still hungry for more. Definitely 21, a number to watch every single game, including this Saturday, but all season long. Here's what he had to say after practice today.
Honestly, Saskatchewan's a really good team. They're a physical team. They're well coached. They know how to use the rules to their benefit. So we have to be ready for a dogfight. And then anytime you go into Saskatchewan, that's a hostile environment that we're ready for and we'll be prepared for. Honestly, I think those guys just got a lot better, especially Cam. Cam's out there, and he's just communicating like no other. He sees routes before it comes. He's all over the place. He's flying around on blitzes. He's making plays. And then Javon, he's getting the calls out, and he's making plays, dropping in coverage and doing his job, doing a great job. And, I think we are all just doing such a great job, especially with, the new way the league's going to go. We're really going to have to communicate a lot together to make sure everybody's on the same page, especially at linebackers, especially the Will, the Sam, and the Mike. And I think that we're doing a great job just as far as chemistry and stuff, and we'll definitely be wood. Oh, these guys are ballers, I think that they all been waiting for their opportunity. And the thing about them, these guys are going to be in the spot that they need to be at all the time, and you can just trust that Carney's going to be in the gap where he's going to be. You can trust that Mason's going to be in this gap. And these guys are great pass rushers, and they're going to continue to get better because the only way you really get better up here is by playing in games. And I expect these guys to get better every week, and that's what I see from that. I'm excited because it's like I be walking between Micah, Ted, and Dylan, and it's just like, all right, my security team for the night. I don't got no problem getting loose, you know what I mean? But Micah, he's been the ultimate pro since he's got here. He's been out at practice and working hard, and, he's learning to understand, you know what I mean? All his questions is to understand, and I think that he's a great piece, and he's going to be great for us.
And that is Simoni Lawrence as we caught up with him after practice today. There was one transaction I did want to let you know about, as earlier today it was announced the Ticats signed American punter Simon Larea to the practice roster. 26-year-old played 34 games over 3 seasons at Albion Christian University. He's 6'2", 203, and a native of Scottsdale, Arizona, and began his collegiate career at Mercer Community College in Arizona. So there you go. Ticats add a punter, and he's an American. So they got 2 globals in Hayes and Whitford. Now they got an American punter as well on the practice roster. All right, mentioned this earlier, but a very exciting day for us here at the Ticats Audio Network as we expand in both talent and reach. And among the talent is Bubba O'Neil, Clint Bubba O'Neil, that is, who's bringing over 20 years of broadcasting experience, including 17 years with CHCH. He'll be taking my seat in the host chair on game day, joining Luke Tasker, Andy Fantuz, RJ Broadhead, and everybody else on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm very pleased to be joined by Bubba now. And Bubba, congratulations. Very, very, very happy for you. It was tough for me to give up the job, but happy to see you make this announcement here today.
Well, I don't even know what the news is.
What are you talking about?
But I get the absolute privilege to be the pre-halftime and post-game host. I mean, what you have covered that position so skillfully and so well for the last, 3 seasons.
The last year for sure. I'll take it. I'll take
last year for
season.
sure. You know, so but you've been around this team and they're on a daily basis, and it's just so exciting for me to have further involvement with the Tiger-Cats. And I mean, I think a number one product of what we're putting out there and giving to our fans in terms of information and coverage and, behind the scenes looks at what's going on. And of course, now I get to really extend that on a game day basis, which is always the most exciting thing, right? I mean, I know I did the pre-game show last year leading into you, and even that was exciting with Courtney Stephen, and now I get to be with 83 and the rest of the crew, and giving you that as you do, and you've done so well, that sort of right there, that information of know what's going on in the game day. So I'm pretty pumped up about being involved in. I mean, you set a high standard there, Louie. So, I mean, an old dog like me, he's got some tricks to learn. So I'm looking forward to it, though.
Burlington Sports Hall of Famer honoree a few weeks ago, too, as well, for your work on Halton 14 and everything you've done. And you're such a pillar in this community. And I can't imagine anyone being more qualified for this job than you, Bubba. So I'm excited to see what you do. I will give you a warning, though. Your teammates, Andy and Luke, they can be a little cliquey sometimes. RJ and I sometimes had to go eat lunch by ourselves. So just be careful, just because they can get a little cliquey.
Well, they still think they're in the locker room, right? And these guys are old and they're done, right? So they have to realize that these people are media members now. They have to remember they are media members. They are no longer players. We can ask them about their experiences as a former player, but it is important for them to understand that they are now members of the media and they will be treated as such.
And when they get that free meal before the game, they know, but then you start working with them. And then when people ask for their picture and they ask you to take it, you realize what you are on that team. But
what a great team we have. And I'm ready to ride their coattails. I mean, we have the Tiger-Cats Audio Network. I mean, think about the quality of players, former players that have been willing to make that transition into the media side. And really, as we talked about, translate their experiences and their knowledge of the game into a media platform. And I think the players that have been selected to be on the Tiger-Cats Audio Network were all players that I think were good on the microphone, talking to guys like us when they were players. So that jump has been, I think, really, really easy for them. And you can tell. I mean, I've listened to them with you. They're having fun.
Yeah. And you and I have seen a lot of athletes, especially come through this city, but a lot of personalities, a lot of athletes. You mentioned it. We mentioned Mike Daly. We're adding him to the roster on the Ticats Audio Network. Courtney, Luke, Andy, RJ, of course, a talented broadcaster in his own right. But when you look at the talent, we've seen a lot of athletes try to become broadcasters. These guys, just like on the field, they picked it up right away, and they're all stars, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And again, for anyone that's listening out there that's not part of the media and didn't play the game, making that jump is very difficult for a lot of players, and some don't succeed, and some can't translate, whether it be on television or on a radio or an audio or a podcast form. And we forgot about Mike Morreale and Hitchcock as well too. What they do, these guys are legends. Let's not blow their heads up more than they already are. But those guys are legends in the area, and they too have developed a following. And it's really, really hard sometimes for a lot of these guys who have played the game and know it so well, but to translate all that information and knowledge to fan knowledge, right? To the fan level and to our level as well too, is how we speak to them. That Y crop 88 to the max thing. They can tell us what that play call means in simple layman language, and it's important that they can give us that information on that level. Because they're football guys first. Even like I said, even though they're long retired, they're always football guys. And I think to be able to translate that message to the fans is so important. And they, as you said, they are all stars at what they do.
Coach Sal, Natalie Sexton, Tracy Lynn. I mean, the list of talent goes on on the Ticats Audio Network. It's an exciting day. It will be an exciting day on Saturday as well. You guys will be on the air at 6:00 with Tiger-Cats Pregame presented by Journey. What are you looking forward to? I want you to save some of it for the pregame, but what are you looking forward to when it comes to this Ticats team finally taking the field for real on Saturday?
So many question marks. I think the Tiger-Cats and their fans should feel really good that I think they're a playoff team. I think at the very least they're a playoff team. So we'll start at that bar. From there, what I'm very interested in is I feel like we've seen some changes with the Tiger-Cats, but I also feel like they're a mature, ready bunch that I said will make the playoffs. What I'm really interested in is what is going to be around them in the East Division. How far or how much closer have the Argonauts gotten to the Tiger-Cats? How will Ottawa respond? They're Ticats light now, right? So like how are, I expect them to make a big jump. I mean, them and Edmonton were awful last year. They were bad teams. I expect them to make a big jump. And Montreal, I mean, let's be honest, they got a lot of talent in Montreal. So I'm more curious to see what the other teams are going to do. How much have they gotten closer to the Tiger-Cats? Because I think the Ticats have set a standard. We know their players. Yes, there's been some tinkering. And every year, this team is different. I know Coach O has said this. We're going to ask them. We're probably going to ask them, you or I, a question when it pertains to 2021 or 2020, those teams that went to a Grey Cup. And he's going to tell you that exactly, and I know. This is a completely different team, Bubs. Like this is, and it is in some ways, with a whole new story and a whole new cast of characters. Some's familiar, but I feel like their basis for a good team in Hamilton, a team that's going to play very well in front of its fans, is already there. So that doesn't surprise me. But I want to see how close everyone else is to trying to knock the Kings, the beasts of the East, if we're going to call it Ticats out.
And I'm sure Argos fans who are listening, what are you doing listening to this show? But if you're listening,
we're the premier place for CFL information.
Love it. You're already on script, Bubba. I love it. But they're probably wondering, hey, didn't we win the East Division? You did. But the Ticats won the East Final, which again, McLeod Beth Thompson, that's a great point. He's the guy, just like Dane Evans is the guy. Has never gone into that situation. Vernon Adams Jr. is probably feeling Trevor Harris stepping on his heels almost, ready to step in at a moment's notice. And we heard what Kahari Jones had to say about Montreal, and you mentioned Ticats light in Ottawa. Paul LaPolice is still an offensive genius, and he's got weapons like Jeremiah Masoli and Jalen Acklin, and by the way, a pretty good running back in William Powell too. So that's great.
And let me just ask you this question, and I know we got a little sneak peek of it in the preseason game last weekend in Guelph. Who's going to be the Tiger Cat that knocks the block off number 16 that wears the Argonaut colors? Who's going to give the goods to? I mean, I saw that 26-yard completion that Brandon Banks caught across the middle, little pass and run play from McLeod Bethel Thompson. And did you see what he did? He turned around and looked at his former teammates and did some smack talking. So
I'm sure 21 is probably going to target on 16, and I can picture number 2 and number 16 having a big collision in the middle, because 2 looks ready. Tunde Adeleke looks ready to go this season. Bubs, can't wait to listen on Saturday. I know I'll be a little busy at 6:00, but I know that I can pick it up on the Ticats Audio Network, and so excited you're expanding your role here with us. And again, couldn't imagine a more perfect replacement for me on that show, and I know you're gonna have a lot of fun with it, so enjoy.
Well, and I'll reverse that as well too, Louie. I think, and the people should know that too. I mean, whether it's the Ticats Audio Network or CHCH, we're all about Hamilton and Hamilton sports. And to see you in your position, your debut was fantastic. I remember my debut, many moons ago as a weekend sports anchor, and I think about the juice that I had flowing and just letting it all out on that first day. And I thought you were just outstanding. And I think our listeners and our viewers should be very excited to have you in that role for the next until I retire.
You're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Hamilton, you're stuck with these faces. Enjoy. Bubs, thanks for doing this. My thanks to Bubba for joining me, and I truly mean it. I cannot imagine anyone better taking over that seat on game day, and I can't wait to see what he does with the rest of the A-plus team on Saturday. He'll be on the air at 6:00. All Ticats Audio Network news. You're going to listen to ticats.ca. All right, that'll do it for us today. We are back tomorrow. From all of us here on the Ticats Audio Network, I'm Louie B. Hoping you have a great day.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.